everybody, welcome back to this week's episode, Friday, November the 10th. We got a beauty here for you tonight. It's absolutely delicious, easy to make, a lot of fun. It's scallop, shrimp, mussel, saffron potatoes, a couple of different garnishes that I want to show you how to do. And well, we'll be right back. Okay, so let's get right into this. We've got mashed potatoes. On the mashed potatoes, pretty simple. Everybody, I hope, knows how to make mashed potatoes. All I'm going to do is I'm going to crank this induction heater on. We're going to go right off the bat, start it on medium. And the mashed potatoes, by the way, has a quarter of a cup of butter in them, already whipped into it, okay? Already did that in advance. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a quarter cup of cream in here. Into this dish, look at that, it's 35% whipping cream. And then we're going to go into a beautiful product called saffron crocuses. It takes 150 plants to make 1 gram, there it is, 1 gram of saffron. It's the stigma of the flower. And we're gonna get this all warmed up a bit. This is an induction cooker, so it comes in a hurry. And I'm gonna take these tweezers and we're going to put some of these threads in here. We're going to get it around. And we're going to bring this up to a boil. And then I'm going to put it in another pot and I'm going to cover it, okay? So here we go. Off. It came to a beautiful boil. Now look, saffron is a powerful herb. You're going to see this color of this whipping cream change. I love it. It's very prevalent in a lot of Spanish dishes. That and coriander, which we will be adding a little later on. So all I want to do is take that, put her in there, and we're going to let that sit for 10 minutes. Okay, so while we're waiting for the cream and the saffron to really marry together, we're going to do a little tiny, and I love to garnish a lot of dishes with this. It's so simple. You take Reggiano Parmesan cheese. You grate it, look at that. And all you do is take a nice spoonful and put them on a nice, I'm only going to make a few of these, so I've just got a small plate here. If you're serving like a big group, then you may want to put it on a big cookie sheet on parchment paper. And I'll make 3 of them because I know the Captain is going to eat one on me. So there you go. You put it, just mount it like that. It goes in the oven at 400 degrees, 3 to 5 minutes, and you'll see them all get bubbly and golden, and they come out and they're going to sit there. Real quick, potato crisp. Real easy to do. All you have to do is slice the Yukon Gold potatoes. I took 2 of them, really thin. Put them in a bowl. We mixed it up there with a little olive oil, salt and pepper, seasoned it. Lay it all out on that baking sheet with parchment paper. And after that's done, you just put another sheet of parchment paper over top, and then another baking sheet on top of that. Put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes, and voila. Here they come, just like that. Great way to garnish your plates. I'm going to garnish this dish as well, along with the Parmesan Crisps. Okay, here we are. Just quickly to finish off, we've had 10 minutes of letting that saffron. You can see how that whipping cream has now changed color. Oh, it's wonderful flavor. And we just pour that over top. You see those threads with the saffron there over top of those mashed potatoes. We're gonna remash it. We're just gonna mix that all back in and get all nice and creamy. And these mashed potatoes and this saffron cream, this is candy. And please don't calorie watch with this. Let those flavors now permeate even more. Okay, so we're just gonna pull these Parmesan Crisps out. You can see how they're still bubbling there. We're gonna let that cool down for a little bit. But look at that. It just blends so well with this dish. Okay, so moving along on the dish, what we wanna do is take beautiful fresh leeks. I was so lucky to get them today. They were gorgeous. And you use primarily all of the white of the stalk. Discard all the leaves, don't be using that. 3 of them, thinly sliced. We're gonna start off with medium heat, and we're just going to put a couple of tablespoons of light olive oil. And there you go. We're just going to throw those guys in there. Just like that. And we're going to go 3 to 5 minutes at medium heat right now with these leeks. Soften them all up. We need to get ourselves a giant heaping teaspoon of chopped garlic. Mix that guy in there a bit. And we're going to let all this come together now. Okay, so folks, we've been just bringing this down. It's 3 to 5 minutes. We want to soften these leeks up. Next on deck is I'm going to take some slivered peppers. Now, look, peppers. You can use any pepper you want. I've got a slivered medium heat on the Scoville scale. And we're going to be using in here today as well. See that? That's a smoked Spanish paprika. And it's bold in flavor. We're only going to use a little bit. That's actually going to be put in there in a little bit. Okay, now for the fun part, my favorite part, putting wine in here. So we're going to put about a quarter cup. And we're going to bring this on high now. I'm going to crank this baby up. Here we go. Next, the seafood stock, which I made. Saw the beautiful picture of all that. That's been brewing away. And it means a lot to the dish. Please understand, taking anything dry out of a package and say, oh, I'm going to make that as my vegetable stock or to go in this dish. Don't do it. So now, there you go. We're going to crank that on. We need this to really boil. Bring it right back. I need to cover that. Let it come back. Okay, we brought all that up to a boil, everybody. And now just that smoked Spanish paprika. I'm going to take about a quarter teaspoon, sprinkle that over there. That's all we want to do. I'm going to whisk that back. And now we're going to add the seafood. I'm just going to take some of these beautiful fresh mussels sitting on ice and put them inside here. And we're going to bring it to a boil, 3 to 5 minutes. Once they open up, we're going to take them back out and we'll be adding the shrimp. Okay? Lovely. Now you can see, I just wanted to bring attention to these Parmesan Crisps. Look at that. You had time to cool down. And, oh yeah, look at this. See how nice they come out? Saltiness in them. Cheese, oh, look at that. The mussels are all ready. They've all opened up beautifully. We're gonna just sort of try to take them out with this spoon. And we're gonna park that over there. We'll be back to these guys in a little bit. Now we're going to add the shrimp, and I'm going to bring this heat right down. We're going to be gentle on these guys. And now these beautiful scallops, look at those.
Papi, qué rico. Can wait, let's shake it, don't waste it, just taste it. Can wait, let's shake it, don't waste it.
Okay, so you can see they're just gently cooking now. The shrimp's starting to turn from that opaquish to pink look. And we just turn these guys over and give them the same amount of time they deserve on the other side. We are at 30 seconds and this is finished. You can see how that shrimp has turned beautifully pink now. And these scallops are just about done. Okay folks, we're going to turn this off just for a second because we're going to bring this all back to a boil again once we take out the seafood, the scallops and the shrimp. And we're going to crank this back up and bring it on high. We need to put a couple tablespoons of butter in there. Bring that to a boil. We want a little reduction here. Let's put that lid there to keep that heat there. There we go. And all we want to do right now is put a little bit of my mixed salt with fresh cracked pepper. Not too much, but just a little bit. Season that. And I'm going to turn it off now. Let that settle down for a second. And now we're going to put some fresh, beautifully chopped coriander. Okay, and we're almost done, folks. We just want to stir that coriander in a little bit, and we're going to return all of this seafood back. Look at those juices in there, and you never waste that. Where do you see this on top of that saffron mashed potato? All those mussels in there. It is delicious. It is Spanish inspired, and well, here we go. Hey folks, well, this is one of my favorite times during the episode is when I can talk about a beautiful wine that's paired with the food we just made. This is Yost Winery's Avocado, which is very crisp, has apple notes to it. It's a Chardonnay from Nova Scotia. Beautiful. Back to business. Let's get plating this beautiful dish. Mashed potatoes, and now a little bit of Spanish sherry, dry sack. Has a gorgeous nutty note to it, which will again complement everything that's in that pan there. And you just want to drizzle a little bit. Get that into those mashed potatoes. Let that go in there. I'm going to start plating this dish. A nice amount of that. You can see those saffron threads still in there. We're just going to take some of this broth first. I want to catch a shrimp too, but we want that broth. Get down there in the bottom.
Can wait, let's shake it, don't waste it, just taste it. Can wait, let's shake it, don't waste it, just taste it.
Well, I know what I'm going to do in about 2 seconds. I'm going to eat this. Now for the final touch. Slide one of these Parmesan chips, crisps, right there. Just on the other side, because we don't want to make anybody jealous, let's take a few of these beautiful potato crisps. Oh, the saltiness is delicious. Get some of this potato, saffron potato, and the scallop first. Folks, you need to make this dish. It's not that difficult. Time and temperature, wonderful.